Hey guys, the 2022 Hyundai IONIQ 5 pricing was just revealed yesterday, and I want to go over it in a little bit of detail with you guys. Now I have the full price spec sheet feature list for all the different trims here for the US market, and I wanted to make this video specifically before the embargo lifts on all the press videos that will be seen. I believe it's the 17th that all those will be released, but I just want to make this video to go over all the trims, features, specs, and pricing in a little bit of detail just before those videos launch. So let's go ahead and dive right in for what you guys are waiting for, and that is the price. Now Hyundai kind of surprised us a little bit here in the US market with a smaller battery standard range model, which is going to be the value leader or the advertised low price that you guys see by Hyundai, and I think they specifically did that to get the price under $40,000. Now, just before we get into pricing here, the standard range model, I want to note, gets a smaller battery pack of 58 kilowatt hours versus the rest of the models 77.4 kilowatt hours. It also gets a less powerful rear-wheel drive motor of 168 horsepower. So with that being said, the entry price into the IONIQ 5 will be $39,700 plus a $1,225 destination fee, for a total starting price of $40,925. So the SE rear-wheel drive starts at $44,875. The SEL rear-wheel drive starts at $47,125. The Limited rear-wheel drive starts at $51,825. Limited all-wheel drive is $55,725. So you can see by the prices listed on the screen here that there is quite the range of pricing in the IONIQ 5. Basically $41,000 all the way up to just under $56,000. As far as range goes, the SE standard range gets 220 miles of EPA estimated range. The rear-wheel drive with the larger battery pack gets 303 miles, and the all-wheel drive with the same larger battery pack gets 256 miles. So as far as range goes, I think it's adequate. I don't think it's definitely not class leading by any means by some of the other competitors out there, but I think it is good enough to put Hyundai in a very competitive spot considering the 800 volt architecture and the fast charge ability. So as far as power output goes, aside from the SE standard range, the rear wheel drive ones will come with 225 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque, and the dual motor versions will come with a combined 320 horsepower and 446 pound-feet of torque. So Hyundai says that is good enough in the all-wheel drive variants to do a sub 5 second 0 to 60 time. So my guess 4.8, 4.9, somewhere around there, which I think is very good considering again how heavy these cars are. And this isn't even the performance version that I'm sure will inevitably come, since we know the EV6 will be getting a GT version with more powerful motors. And one last thing to cover as far as pricing goes, if you guys are wondering what the difference between the rear-wheel drive and the all-wheel drive versions are, it is $3,500 more for the all-wheel drive on the SE and SEL, and $3,900 for the all-wheel drive premium on the Limited trim. So a little bizarre as to why Hyundai is charging an additional $400 for the dual motor setup on the Limited trim only versus the $3,500. But that could just be due to wanting more profit margin on the higher trim levels. And of course, the IONIQ 5 is still eligible right now for the $7,500 federal tax credit if you guys qualify, and of course add in your state and local incentives as well to those prices. As far as colors go for the IONIQ 5, it looks like there will be 6 different exterior color options available, and 2 cloth seat colors and 3 leatherette interior colors. So as far as the exterior goes, there'll be white, black, gray, teal, blue, and shooting star, which is a gray matte paint. Now I'm honestly surprised that Hyundai is going with a matte paint on the IONIQ 5. I know they've been into matte paint lately on some of the Genesis models, and of course they had it in the Veloster in the past. But from my experience, talking to people and seeing people's reviews of it online, I think the matte paint is not necessarily the correct choice for a daily driver in terms of how much care it takes to actually take care of that paint. But one thing to note is the white will be an additional $400 charge, and the matte gray will be an additional $1,000 charge on top of those prices I listed earlier in this video. As far as the interior color options, it looks like there's going to be a black and gray interior cloth seat option, and black, gray, and a dark green interior leatherette option. I'm very interested to see the dark green. I'm not sure there have been any press pictures released of that interior combination, but very interested to see what it looks like. So enough about pricing. I want to go over some of the key highlights in terms of the features and specs of the IONIQ 5. Now, it comes packed with a ton of standard equipment, even on that lesser range model, which honestly I'm really impressed with for that price point. It comes with a lot of features and technology, that's for sure. So a couple of the honorable mentions as far as the standard equipment on all these cars. Of course, it has the 800 volt architecture, so it has the fast charge, 350 kilowatts of charging up to. Now, if you get that in the real world, that's to be seen. It also comes with the dual 12.3 inch interior screens, one for the gauge cluster, one for the navigation, which is standard. Dual zone automatic temperature control, LED interior lighting, leather wrapped steering wheel, all the Hyundai safety sense stuff of collision avoidance assist, blind spot avoidance assist, lane keeping assist, lane following assist, rear cross traffic avoidance assist, highway drive assist 1, which is the smart cruise control, and it also has the machine learning ability, which Hyundai unveiled, I think, last year on some of their vehicles. And one other thing to note is it comes with the unlimited 30-minute charging sessions on Electrify America's chargers. So if you have any Electrify America chargers near you, you get unlimited 30-minute sessions for 2 years with the IONIQ 5. So I think this is a pretty impressive standard feature list. Of course, I will link everything down below so you guys can read over the full feature list yourself, because there's so much to cover that I won't be able to cover it all. Now, in terms of getting the all-wheel drive IONIQ 5, you definitely gain some things right off the bat, including the battery heating system and a heat pump. Now, to me, this screams that obviously Hyundai is expecting people to get the all-wheel drive version in colder climates because it helps the performance of the battery and everything like that. But I think it might have been in their best interest maybe to offer some of those as options on the rear-wheel drive models as well. I'm not exactly sure as to why Hyundai only offered the battery heating system and stuff like that on the all-wheel drive, as they have offered those on some of the other front-wheel drive versions that they currently offer of the other EVs. So that's just something to note if you guys are looking for the battery heating system and the heat pump, that you have to get the all-wheel drive. And just a little comment on the Hyundai Digital Key being on the limited version of the IONIQ 5. Just remember that that feature is available on some $25,000 and $26,000 Elantra and Konas. And if it's truly going to be included only on the limited version of the IONIQ 5, which starts at $51,000, I think that's a little disappointing, because, that's a feature that Hyundai has been, pretty proud of and advertised on most of their mainstream models. And considering it doesn't come on at least the SEL IONIQ 5, seems a little bizarre to me in terms of packaging. So as you can see, there's a ton of available features here on the IONIQ 5, depending on what trim level you want. Even the base gets a ton of equipment, but if you want all those features advertised by these press videos that will be released in a couple days, they're more than likely going to be showing you the limited trim. So keep that in mind while you're watching those videos, that those cars are fully loaded and will cost well over $50,000 before any tax incentives. So that's kind of why I wanted to make this video, to give you guys kind of a heads up that you'll probably be seeing a bunch of videos on the fully loaded IONIQ 5s. So the last thing I want to cover really quickly here is some of the competitors' pricing. Now, I looked up the Tesla Model Y and the Mustang Mach-E just for reference, because those two come to mind in terms of the competition of the IONIQ 5. So as you can see, the IONIQ 5 comes in thousands of dollars less than the competition, even in its most expensive form. Now, some people obviously won't like the design of the IONIQ 5, which kind of looks like a concept vehicle, but personally, I think it looks unique. I think it looks good. It doesn't look so bad that I don't like it or anything. It's just, personal taste and personal preference and stuff like that. As far as availability of the IONIQ 5 at launch, they should be available by the end of the month, or Hyundai claims they will. And according to their press website, it says they will be launched in all these zero electric vehicle emission states, as well as an additional like 5 different states, and supposedly Illinois is one of those states. So if I get a chance to get my hands on one or see one in person, I will definitely make another video for you guys, giving you my first impressions. But I'm not holding my breath on that anyways, because you know it is winter time here. I'm sure a lot of these are going to be pre-sold at the dealerships or sell within minutes of them arriving. So the odds that I actually get hands-on with one are probably going to be pretty small, but I will definitely keep my eye out for one if I get a chance to see one in person. So I hope you guys found this video helpful and enjoyed taking a look at all the different trims and specs and pricing of the IONIQ 5. If you guys did, please hit that like button down below. It definitely helps me out. Leave any of your questions or comments down in the comments section, and I will do my best to answer them. If you have any specific questions about features or anything like that, again, I will do my best to answer those as well. So keep an eye out for all those press videos here, I think on the 17th. That'll be reviewing the IONIQ 5 in person. I think they'll be very interesting, and I think a lot of people will be pretty impressed with the car overall. So I'll be keeping an eye on myself. But once again, thanks for watching this video. Check out some of the other content on my channel if you guys are interested. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.